Yeah.
His brother did more than he did.
He really did.
Sometimes.
Anyone out there who's listening, in case you don't know, Darth Maul is one of Insaniac's favorite characters.
Yeah, I liked what they did with the Clone Wars for him.
I enjoy General Grievous,
but like, I can't lie. I was a little disappointed with the Rebels ending.
They could have bitched General Grievous. The fucking show did him better.
They did.
I really hope they've hinted at some things carrying over from Darth Maul's Syndicate, Black Sun, and the leftover cult he's made from the Mandalorians that might be making a return. There's like a group of Mandalorians that I think it was like Death Squad or Death Knight or something like that.
I'm more scared that I'm gonna see space whales.
It's not what I'm talking about.
Because I swear to God, they already brought Thawne. If they bring fucking Ezra, that just means space whales are coming, and then I might just turn off Star Wars forever.
The Force always has interaction with animal creatures. It's always going to be a reoccurring thing that they bring in. Oh, every single time.
Yeah, it's a Death Watch.
Yeah, the Death Watch. Yeah, Death Watch. They're likely because Mando's in the show. He was one of kids that were rescued by a Death Watch like family or something like that. And like during the Night of 1,000 Years, when the Sith destroyed Mandalore.
I know.
Yeah, so he's been kicked out essentially by like members of Death Watch, and they're going to come to reclaim the Darksaber at one point or another, no doubt. Like the actual cult.
Okay.
And the Shadows. That's what. You sound like
you say so.
I told you what I'm scared of.
I know you're worried that's because you're afraid of whales. We know.
I'm afraid of space whales.
It's the whales so deadly they're in the sky.
You know, Fonzie jumped the shark, and Star Wars flies the supersonic intergalactic space whales. So
yeah, look, listen, Linda.
Yeah, Linda, listen.
I mean, space whales are pretty great.
Yeah, I'm not talking about space whales. I'm talking about the space whales. The Shadow Syndicate and Death Watch.
All right. Let's turn this from Star
Yoda's Wars. Weirdness is gonna
No, this is the Star Wars episode.
No, I was gonna look at fucking that movie that's coming out. Doctor Strange.
Don't tease stuff, please.
I haven't seen anything about it.
It looks pretty good from what I've seen.
I haven't even seen the new Spider-Man yet because I'm waiting for good quality.
So we need a Beskar space harpoon. Rouge Hala? Yes. Yes! And Picard is better than Kirk.
That only depends if they need to make if they make space whales out of Zillow Beast armor, then that'll be deadly combination.
Janeway is better than both, bud.
We're all about segues.
Just so you know.
We don't own segways.
No one beats Janeway.
I'm more about unicycles, but segways are pretty cool.
I mean, I can ride a unicycle.
I knew a person that I went to drama class that learned that as a strange thing to do. I learned how to juggle.
I could juggle too. I can't do both at the same time, but I can do both.
That's a deadly combination. I don't think I can do both either.
Are you saying you're a clown?
Everyone's a clown.
Life's a joke, so why not get paid for it?
See, there you go. That's the right attitude.
Oh, I like KSI now. Yeah, Janeway for life. Janeway was the best Star Trek. If you guys watch Star Trek, nothing beat.
Never watched it. My dad grew up with it.
Voyager was the best.
Voyager was good. That was the one I did enjoy. Just
don't get me wrong. Like Next Generation's great. Patrick Stewart was great. I'll say it was bad, but something about Janeway and Seven of Nine and Riker and that whole that was my favorite.
Yeah, I enjoyed the times the few episodes I did watch with my dad. I wasn't a big fan of like the overall Star Trek.
Chat. Did you guys watch the Picard show? What made me so happy is Janeway becomes head of Starfleet. She becomes head of Starfleet Command. She becomes higher ranking than Picard.
Oh, really?
That's canon. That made me so happy. It makes sense too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, Picard was such a good show. That was actually really good. But no, I wanted to talk about the new Doctor Strange, and there's also, oh yeah, you didn't know that KSI? Janeway becomes head of Starfleet Command. Yeah, look it up.
Let's say we could also talk about the new Vox Machina show. I know.
Yeah, she runs Starfleet. There's so
It was
much.
surprisingly good.
I've enjoyed it. There's certain things that are kind of meh, a little weird, but
Yeah, like every
all right.
show, but
Wait,
it was
what show?
it was decent.
The Vox Machina show.
What show?
You know that one with the
You
critical
talked about
role
it in
people.
kind of
Your favorite,
Oh,
role.
so
Yeah,
people I could give a fuck about. Okay.
you literally said you
your
watched it in chat at
absolute
one point.
favorite people.
You said you watched an episode or two. My goodness.
They're based in Ferengi.
Goldfish. Goldfish. Shiny red ball.
Oh my god, that's right. That's the other end of topic. It's the end of COVID, guys. We made it.
For now.
Apparently March 1st is it.
For now.
My LARP is starting up again. I'm actually excited to go LARPing.
Let's hear about your character.
I'm excited to.
Yeah, is the door gonna make a return?
I wish. No, they destroyed that. They
But
destroyed the door.
maybe somebody rebuilds the door.
The indestructible door.
I'm not even kidding. In game, the guy who owns
you
LARP,
gotta see KSI. You gotta bring your character onto our one shots.
the guy who owns LARP got so.
We will be going through some of the wonderful events that we've done.
If you want to bring Winona, KSI, you have to come on Fridays.
Yeah.
Plug in the show on Fridays. Anyone wants to come to the floor?
Yes, the door. Yeah, he had problems with the door too. We had that in our game. Doors were tough for our group. Really tough. Never had
doors.
I never had people roll such bad rolls to open like barely barricaded doors.
See, now
it was hilarious.
I joined, isn't it?
Which is funny because, dude, like you say door, and I have a completely different. Just to answer Rutala's question, or what she said. She said she loves the new Star Trek movies. They're hit and miss.
They're okay.
They're hit and miss.
Some are good. Some are great.
I like the first one. Second,
it's hard to open the door when somebody's holding the door closed.
It's funny.
And
I know you guys are talking about D&D.
That their strength check. Oh man, what a series of awful rolls. It was hilarious.
I'm sure it was.
So, I'm gonna break it down just because it makes me feel special. Addressing our wonderful viewer out there, we had a couple of guys checking out an Orcus cult. And when we got to the door, people had been alerted, so they went behind the door to hold the door to just keep the doors closed. They had much; they were cultists, and we had one person who had a magical drink, which made it so his next couple rolls were ones, but then one of his later rolls would be a 20. So this kicked into his rolls on the door, and then we had KSI. Try to open the door. Didn't roll a 1, but didn't roll very well, so was struggling with the door. The other person tried to run up and kick the door open. Rolled a 1, slipped and hit the door. Fell on their ass. And then KSI is like, I think I'm just gonna shoot my way through. I tried one more strike check and then finally budged the door open enough to get it through. Because I'm like, guys, we can't be defeated by this door. I'm not gonna let this. Like, come on. And managed to get through a little bit, start getting something going. My goodness, the door was the ruin of the day for that session.
I have a similar story, but different.
Tell us your story about doors.
Um,
They're the root of every D&D
so
party.
Rouge Hala, who's also in the chat, we LARPed together. And a long, long time ago, I was in NPC camp. And because I'm a rambunctious piece of good, awesome will,
Some might say.
they needed me to get out of camp. So they made me a door. Like, I was this door that they have to say open door. If they get me to say open door and then I open, then I turn into a golem. But usually when people do this RP thing, people aren't too into it. Thing is I was really into it. So I asked Monster Camp, I asked Monster Camp, like, how long is this supposed to last? They're like, well, at most an hour, but it's only like a 5-minute module. I made it last an hour, and because I was a door, right? And I decided that the door has been there for thousands of years. He's not very happy. And so I laid into these people, like a whole party of 8, and they're all new players. All brand new players, and I just laid
to the store
into them, and they loved it. And rather than kill me, they all decided to work as a team and take me back to the town. And so as I played LARP, every so often I would go out a game and come in with like this door mask, and I would stand and be this door. And usually it's when I'm not having the best time at LARP, and I would just rail people. Like I would go no holds bar on some people. And the best thing is like some of them, like I had this like one lady, Sheena, God bless her soul. She would not just take it, she would fire back. And like we would have full on just diss matches in the middle of LARP. And it got so bad that the owner of the LARP hated the idea that I could do this because they had brought it into game. That one of the things he made sure is the highest, most powerful thing in LARP is like a dragon. He made sure a dragon came and destroyed the town and made a note to say the door has been vaporized. A literally indestructible door has been vaporized. And I was heartbroken because it was my favorite character.
That moment where the DM is like, "My God, what have we done? You've gone too far. Why have we done this?"
I was a total smartass. I went hard.
Oh, it's more fun. It's more fun that way, right? If you're convinced of the role, especially if you're playing as an NPC. That's why I like being the DM. There's certain moments where you can't do all the time as a player.
The problem is when you're DM of a game that's live action and you have 50 to 80 players,
yeah,
like, and you decide to just, because I'm not going to say their name, but they've done this a couple times where they just decide to put their proverbial foot down, and it's like, man, Christ, like this guy, like I love him to death. He's a great guy. But I swear to God, in like the 7-8 years I've been part of LARP, the same fucking villain. I kid you not, we've killed this fucking stupid, like, vampire ass motherfucker like 6 times. And like, I swear to God, like one time we fucking killed his soul and there was fireworks and everything. No, comes back 3 years later, he's back alive. It's like, man, it's like he
just wants to be included.
Yeah, that's right. This guy's notes said the Pleasure Palace. That's
was a glass bowl.
Really? He's not Rouge Hala? He did it finally get taken out of his hands? Because I might actually come back to the LARP, like actually.
Maybe the door will return.
Well, I mean, like it wasn't that. It's more just like the guy was great to talk to, but you could tell. Sometimes there was a bit of a power trip there.
Fair. Typical DM kind of thing.
But I mean, it's one thing to be a DM of like 6 or 7 people or 8 people. But like when it's
like imagine those big like D&D forums where like they have upwards of like 20 people at a table.
You have 60 to 80 people that like dude, I have costuming. Like I spend money like on LARP.
Yeah.
And and my costuming is not even close to like Rouge Hala's.
Yeah,
or her husband's, or like some of the other people that go, like they spend money. So yeah, they don't want all of a sudden like it's one thing to have the town blow up, like that's cool, like change of scenery, but like it's another thing to like something that we built over time to put towards and it just gets thrown out the window. It's like that's it's just not fun. It's a panel. Ooh.
Yeah, well, it's like imagine like those big tables and things like that, right? Where they have like so many. Like I can imagine it's different, like you said, because there's makeup, there's costumes, much other stuff. I can just, but it's I'm imagining too for a D&D group, right, where you have 20 some people and you're all trying to address each character and what's going on. There's a point where you have to effectively split things up to a certain point and using like other DMs to create a bigger scope of things, or
Well, no,
like
like I'll be fair. I'll be fair to this
that's
guy.
different kind of
Like
environment, right?
he did some things. Like there were some storylines that he did that went nowhere, but there were some. Even though they didn't include everyone, like you felt the urgency. Like he was really good at perpetuating a story. I will say one of the greatest times I ever had at LARP was I was being such a little shit and I kept saying that I wanted to start a democracy because he had a monarchy. And I kept pushing it. I made cards everywhere I went. I talked to nobles. I did everything I could to like just because he knew that I was going after him. Like I was doing it just to fuck with him. And so
you never do such a thing. Why would you ever do such a thing?
No, he knew.
It's impossible. You would. You're such a kind, such joyful-hearted individual.
And so we did this thing where we were playtesting the new rules, and I told him like I want to do this. Like I went straight up with him and said like I want to do this. And he looked at me and he's like, this isn't what we're doing. But Jonathan, because I know what you've been doing and I know what you want, I'm going to give it to you. And this whole weekend, I had a whole weekend where I never had really anything like really focused around me on LARP ever.
See,
I had
you can join
whole
LARP.
weekend.
You can be a villain,
basically dedicated to my dream.
Where you could be this vampire guy that he's talking about.
You can kill everyone. Yeah, KSI. If you want to join LARP, it's so much fun. It is so much fun.
I can imagine.
It is some of the most fun I've ever had. It is just Dungeons and Dragons in live action. It is ton of fun. But to this guy's credit, he basically made an entire weekend based around something that I've been pushing for months, and he made me the master of spies, and he gave me a title, and he gave me power, and I'm like, the whole, and I remember there was a scene at the end of the weekend where like the entire LARP is trying to get free of this nightmare realm that we're in, and like there's a scene where they're all about to fight the big bad guy, the king, and I walk out in front of everyone, and I turn around in front of the king, and I just start killing my friends. And everyone's like, what? And people start trying to cast dispels on me. They knock me out and wake me up, and they're like, okay, the magic is gone. And I look at them like, okay, the magic's gone. And then I just fucking murder them.
Keep going.
And people didn't know what was going on. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is my dream. This is what my character wants. Why would I leave? Like, I don't want to leave. And they thought about it over the weekend, and every time everyone's like, oh, we got to get out of here, I always say to people, like, no, we shouldn't. We should stay. This place is awesome. And they thought I was under spell, but no, that was just me. I was like, no, this is the greatest thing. But
I feel that. Some things in our game that are kind of similar right now.
To be fair to this guy, like he had moments like that where he'd make weekends for certain characters, and it would be like the best time of your life. But on the other time, he would just all of a sudden turn into a 5-year-old child and just put his foot down, and all of a sudden everything's like back to square one. And it was like, what the fuck, man?
That's fair.
Yeah, Rujala, you've been LARPing for almost a decade. Yeah, we in Rujala have been LARPing for a long time. If you've never LARPed before out there, listeners, I can tell you it is exactly as fun as you imagine. If you are an adult and you want to have fun, I know I'll come. I'll come soon, Rujala. I will. If you want to have fun, there's one out in France, and I forget what the other one is. I think it's in Idaho, and it's called Billings, Idaho, and I forget what the one in France is, or not France, Quebec. The one in Quebec. And what it is that's an adult only one. That one only runs twice a year for both of those. But those ones are a whole weekend, and you just get drunk as a skunk, and you LARP and pretend to be
Nice.
a pirate or whatever the fuck you want. It is so much fun, and that's for the adult. That's if you don't want to go run kids. There's there's hardcore LARPs. If you really want to RP and you're not really into battle, you can do like Underworld. Billicoin. Thank you. Biccolline is what it's called. Thank you, Rujala. And you can do Underworld, which is just super RP heavy. And if you really want to feel like you're in old medieval times with magic and werewolves and vampires, or you do what mine is, and mine is the 18 or plus beer league of LARPing. Is what I call it. It's called Alliance LARP. They're all over the country and America.
Beer league.
I call it the beer league because it's adults only. We are all just a bunch of just adults that are kids. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
We're not children here.
We swear like sailors.
We're fully wise adults here.
We swear like sailors. We are the most unjudgmental people I've ever met. It's the greatest. I've never met a group of more not judgmental people. Like there's people who have multiple partners. There's people who are like just in every walk of life in LARP, and I love it. I love it. And yeah,
definitely worth checking out. I've kind of like the way you talked about it. I've wanted to check it out.
So many people.
I don't know how deep I would commit into a character, but D&D is like it's an easier poor man's kind of hobby, I would say, because you don't really need much. Kind of just need dice and a few books, and like it's at most like maybe $30 to get those books. You can get them from cheaper. I have them for free online. Just depends on where you look. So like I honestly, like I said,
you're in Ontario, right? There's like 6.
I mean like all the D&D books, like you can find them all online for free.
Yeah.
Right?
But everyone plays D&D. I'm saying like
that's what I mean. I'm saying it's the poor man's version, poor man's hobby of similar to LARP, right? Because LARP, you're making a costume, you're making weapons. You don't have to do that. I don't imagine you need to.
Just so we're clear, because I had this same problem. Oh, you're in Berta, KSI, so are me and Rouge. Then you can come to our LARP. You can actually come to our LARP. You can come LARP
my
with
game.
Me.
He was in my game.
I'm sure he was.
Where was I? Before this? Come on, C4.
I don't know where you lived. Oh yeah. Hey, www.refugelarpcalgary.ca. Give them a shout out. Yeah, man. Oh my god. Did we get another guy in the LARP? Yes. One of us. No, I think you'd get addicted, honestly, Insaniac. I
can imagine. It would just take the time of getting like I'm a big RP fan.
So my first LARP ever. Because I had done the trials and stuff, and like met all the people and done the combat training, and like, oh man, Rujala, do you remember my first LARP? You remember? Remember what I was a human bard.
I remember. I remember doing that
because I was so poor. I had to get a ride out. I wore a ripped shirt and literally torn, ripped pants, no shoes. And I had only spent money on a little tiny, LARP dagger. Because I was playing a homeless guy. And, yeah, I did that for, like, the first year. I just literally played some homeless guy. And every time when people would ask me to do stuff, I'd be like, no, I'm homeless. I have nothing. I have literally nothing. I have a dagger and ripped, and like there would be cold days, and I'd still be out there in my shirt, and ripped pants, pretending to just be a beggar. It was perfect.
I mean, yeah, it fits pretty easily, right?
It was the best. All right. But yeah, I would suggest to anyone that you should play LARP.
Look, check Google your local LARP group, or Yahoo your local LARP group, or Bing
Yeah,
your
Bing your
local
local LARP,
all the search engines.
not
Yeah.
Google. You have to use Bing now.
DuckDuckGo your local LARP group.
That said, we are
Ask Jeeves about
we
your
are
local
we are
LARP
15 minutes over our
Jesus,
usual.
about your local LARP group.
Jesus, reach.
Jesus will show you the way. Maybe one of the LARPers will be there too.
Let's
Who
end on
knows?
something controversial. Jesus will show you the way to LARP.
He will lead you to better freedom and things. Follow LARP, Jesus.
And yeah,
Thank you all for being
Don't
part of the
forget,
show.
eventually we'll all become crabs.
everyone.
We'll all become crabs.
No.
Crabs are the end.
Everyone
We are
thank
crab
Moses.
people.
Crabs are the beginning and the end.
Crab people talk like crabs.
I am sorry
Walk like
that
people.
our
Crab
viewers had nothing better to do, but I am so glad every one of you spent it with us here. That's KSI, Rujala, Ishpek, and the two other people who are watching and never actually chat. But I do see you there. I do see you. I see you guys.
We appreciate the lurkers.
Yeah,
the idle lurkers.
I see you lurkers, but it's fine. I like you. You never say
We
anything, but
appreciate
I know
you.
you're there.
We feel your love either way.
You guys are awesome. You're
Except
all
for
awesome.
you. You
Please.
know what you
People.
did.
Walk like crab,
If
talk like people.
You want to catch older episodes of the podcast, you can catch them on Twitch or
Become
anywhere
a
you get
crab.
podcasts.
Just
Or
be a
if you're
crab.
watching on YouTube, just go onto the
Do
YouTube
the
channel.
crab.
You can look at other episodes. They're automatically loaded on YouTube. We are the
Crab
Villains
people.
Talk Show. We catch us
Crab
every
people.
Wednesday for podcasts, Fridays for Two Shot Fridays. It's a brand new Two Shot this Friday. And did I forget anything?
People.
You guys,
Shout out to the
Remember
crab
to
people.
Thank the All-Father.
Thank your local crabs.
I am just.
Everybody has to thank their local crabs when you think
thanks
about
to your
it.
local crabs.
Crab
So does that mean you
people.
guys just like
People.
before you go to the shower, you take off your pants and look down your pubic hair and say thank
Hey.
you?
As long as there's something